Welcome to the new weekly report. This is a week 24 where I'm reporting the progress about becoming full stack developer in JavaScript using JavaScript Node.js, PostgreSQL, HTML and CSS. In these last 2 weeks I have made some progress, and in this video I will show you what kind of progress I have made. Inside the self.developer.com website, you can also see a written report on each day when I have done something inside the code. So I'm making some kind of record and progress what I have done. Every 2 weeks I make record a video, so I have sharing with you the details, what I have done, what kind of problems I had, and what is the next goal. So on the left side you can see the code I have written right now. It is index.js. On the right side it is self.developer, and there is the live website on the domain kernelizer, where I have put one of the versions I have created that is live on the DigitalOcean Droplet, which is on a live server that anybody can access. So the current status is this one, where you can see all the details. 3 charts I have put. The first one is currency strength meter between 8 currencies. Then you have here a correlation. Then you have here two symbols active currently, where you can see the price of each of them, and below that you have a bar chart with a pip range for one of the symbols. This is the live version, but I have here a local version where you can see a little bit more details I have done. In this case, you can see that I have started to put some kind of content here, but I have stopped after I have decided to concentrate first creating the charts, backend, and later on to create the front end part, which will be the content and the visualization, which is CSS. In the upper left corner it is self.developer icon, which has been remained since I have started the project, where I was working here on the self.developer website on the domain. But below that I have created more the details, where you can see the currency strength meter, where I have currently developed where the data has been pulled from the database every hour. Below that I have created a bar chart and there is a drop down menu where you can select and compare 2 currencies at the same time, for example USD, GBP, USD. Then you get the details. The bar chart here represents the price strength, which means the price change from yesterday compared to the current market price. And below that it is a correlation between 2 symbols, where you can see the GBP and the Euro, USD, the difference between the price. Why there is currently, we can see that on this point we have the Euro USD, where the left chart, which is for the Euro USD, and the right chart is also for the GBP as a second symbol. Below that is a pip range chart, which represents the pip range for certain symbol, and currently it is GBP USD from Monday to Friday. There are other details below that, which is content that I have simply copied from a test website, so this is not very important. Then here it is a GitHub where I save all the details and also the versions. I have moved from the public version for this project to the private version, so I do not want to share the backend code with everybody. But if you have followed me from the start, you could also access the start of this project, the code from this GitHub profile. You can see the progress. Currently I am making some kind of progress almost every day from Monday to Friday. This is the goal, to work from Monday to Friday, and on the weekends I am free. But you can see that some of these days I have not worked because sometimes I was thinking about the solutions. I will explain that. Now let's return here on this part. The last weekly report has been up to 16th of May. and I'm starting from the 17th of May. So I will go through these reports so you can understand what I have done and also what kind of problems I had, what solutions I have created, and what is the idea for the next step. On the 17th, there is idea to save the price change in the database on the API request. This is the additional bar chart I have created to save the price change inside the database for the price change from the current price compared to the previous day. This is the daily, but now I have changed that to 1 hour, so I am saving the price change from this current moment compared to the 1 hour before. There is a problem. When to save the price change, I have decided to move to the 1 hour time frame. So inside one day I have 24 records, which I combine them into several time frames, which means 1 hour time frame, 4 hour time frame, daily time frame, weekly time frame, and the monthly time frame. Before that, I have created one day time frame, which means each day, once a day, I have saved the record for the price change, which means I could not get intraday analysis. This was not good, so I have decided to move that. Then the next one, save the price change into data on the API request. There is a problem. There is an error. I do not have data about the cross price from the database. There was some kind of an error where the problem was with the length. When I was reading the database inside the record, inside the database, there was no record, so this was an issue because the code could not read and continue without symbol price, close price, which was the problem. So I needed to put if statement to check is there any record that is with the 0 value. So if it is 0, to skip it. Then there is a problem. The idea was to show the price change on the front end chart. Problem showing the data on the new chart. I cannot find error why the data is not shown. This was a little bit problem where I have made mistake with the second data set. I did not put the correct variable. When I was copying the code for the front-end chart, which I have used from the correlation chart, there was an issue. I have not changed the variables. I have used only the first variable without using the second one, so I had a problem that I had only one record on the chart. When I have changed that, this was the problem was solved. The next idea was wait for the data to populate inside the database and see how the chart works now. This was also one of the days when I did not make any code progress because I wanted to populate at least one day inside the database to see how the code works and is there anything that I need to improve or I need to add. Then on the 22nd, he sent a request for pip range symbol to show the data on the chart. This is something new I have added, and that was a pip range chart. What I wanted to change also the variable, which will send from the front end to the back end to select which symbol you would like to get the pip range chart for. So what I have done, I create a drop-down menu with the symbols that a user can select, and then I have set up post request with pip range symbol. Currently the code works again. I have required symbol in the backend. A problem, I have sent post request with range in the post request I have used for the two symbols for the correlation chart. When I run the code, I had an issue that reading 0 is available for of these two symbols, and the reason was that I did not send two variables for correlation chart but only for the pip range chart. So I needed to add another post request only for the pip range, so I do not get involved in the first post request for the correlation chart. So I do not know currently, is it better to have two post requests or I should only have one per web page? This is something I do not know currently. I do not have previous experience. I don't know what kind of issues I will have if I have several different post requests. And when I go to the code, well, let me show you just a minute. Inside the code, okay, index.js, this is the chart, constraint chart, okay, and here it is a pip range. So I have created another one which is called submit pip range. The first one was here, which was a submit. These are two post requests, so I didn't know should I use second post request or only one post request. So I have created and decided to use two different post requests. You can see the first one is here. This is for the correlation part, and for the pip range I have created another one. So based on this one, I have created the second one. I have only changed the variables. I'm sending from the front end to the back end. So I have continued using two post requests. So we'll see how to use that. And the next one was I need to make a backend part of the code to process symbol request for the pip range shard. So for this one, there was no issue. I have only what I have seen. There was a problem, no issues were faced today regarding the code, but I should improve the details for certain symbols, because some symbols do not have 4 or 5 digits but have 2 or 3 like Japanese pair. So in this case, when I was reading the database, there was a calculation used for the pip range. To show pip range on the bar chart, I need to make a calculation for two digit for the 2 decimal points, and there was 3 decimal points for the Japanese pair, but also there was a calculation for the gold or the silver, which has another calculation. So I have fixed this one and created with the drop-down menu for all symbols. Now calculation is done correctly. There was an idea to upload the current code to the live website to show the progress to visitors, but this will require me to solve the issue with the CSS that doesn't work on the Linux server. The previous issue I had, and it is still present when I upload the current code, there was an issue with the CSS. It is not loaded correctly. So I think it is about the path for the CSS files that is not working. I need to find the solution why it's not working. Then there was an idea saving pip range details inside the table inside database. So I have the archive and I allow the user to select pip range for the specific period. Here it is. Here it is some kind of a problem that I'm still thinking about saving the database or only reading the raw data from the database and then inside the code make the calculation and send it to the front end. These are some of the problems I'm still thinking. Is it smart to put all the data inside the database, calculate everything that is possible, and then on the request just pull the data from the database? Or when sending a post request, load the database, check the raw data, and then calculate what is needed inside the code and save it in the variable or inside an array or object and send that to the front end. I don't know what is better, what is the best practice, what is faster, or is it better to save the database from the data, not to put everything inside the database to prevent the database being too large. This is something that I'm still thinking. And there is also one of the ideas to put MT4 for all the symbols price changes instead of calling the API. Currently I'm paying the API on a yearly basis. To avoid that, I was thinking that to put MT4 with trading platform on the server and save the data from the trading platform, which gets the data from the server from the broker, to save the data inside the database and then use the Node.js backend code to call the data from that database. So in this case, I would have MetaTrader 4 saving and putting all the data inside the database. And then I have another one application, which is Node.js, that is pulling the data from that database. So this is one of the ideas for the future improvements. Then on the 24th of May, I had an idea, change the pip range calc for the 2 different symbols. Okay, I have done that. I have explained that. Then on the 27th of May, call the API for certain symbols and not all that are available to save API credits. Yeah, there is a possibility. And I have changed that to call instead of 1,892, I think, symbols. I was spending 20 credits. I have lowered that to only 61 symbol, which is needed currently, and which was costing me 1 credit. So I have reduced 20 times one of 20 credits currently with each API call. So I have used that because I wanted to call the API every hour during the day. So instead one call during the day, I'm now calling 24 times, which is 24 credits. If I have stayed on the 20 credits per call, this would be 24 multiplied with 20, which would be too much, and I would lose all the credits available for the monthly fee I am paying. Then you can see here the idea. I have stopped for a while and think about the future progress. I need to think about the details and the goals I would like to achieve with the charts. I have created a list of details by reading internet, or that's what I have created, so to see what user wants to see. Now, the idea here was the problem, because I was moving forward and making progress on the pip range chart, on the correlation chart, on the price change chart, on the currency strength meter. So I have decided to stop because I was wasting too much time on everything. And then I was thinking about to make some kind of a progress on only one chart, and that would be currency strength meter, to finish it as much as possible with the details, and then show to the public to tell me, is the public interested in this currency strength meter, and the options I will prepare for them. For example, which kind of these details they would like to have. Is there any other options with the drop down menu to change the time frame, to change the colors, to change the symbols, to make a possibility to change the date in the past, so they can also create some kind of feedback what has happened in the past and how the market has reacted. So is there any kind of currency strength meter options that would help them to define where the price could go in the future based on the currency strength meter? Then I was reading on the internet all the details, what the traders are saying about the currency strength meters that are available on the online. So I have gathered all the comments and improvements they would like to have. So I was preparing everything to make those changes and make a minimal viable product, which is MVP, to see does it fit to the people online, and is there a chance someone will read it and use it. So this is something I have started to work on, because I was thinking after that and seeing that people would like to have on lower time frames, which currently I have reduced from the daily time frame to the 1 hour chart. I have seen that they would like to have lower time frames, to have a possibility to change the time frame from 1 hour to 4 hour to daily to the weekly to the monthly, so they can see how the currency strength has changed on the different time frames. So after that, I have decided to see what kind of details I should save inside the database. So I have started to work on this idea, gather all the details I have, and then how the database should look. So I have changed the details. I have added several columns inside the tables inside the database to have all the details and also the data that is needed to provide all these improvements on the chart. Then I have thinking about also the other charts that I am currently putting here, so they have also the details from the database. So I needed to think about a little bit about this idea, how to create a database, how the tables should look, what kind of columns should I save, and what kind of combinations. From there, when I have gathered all these ideas and changed the database and see what details I should save inside on each day, I have started to work on this, and currently I have created a database with more details, which is from the time frames. You can see that here. And then after that, you can see it here. I have changed the details, which kind of symbols are saved. And after that, we can see there is a change the code every hour for symbol colors. Now I need to solve the same for the strength table, solving the code for the strength table inside the data to save the records every hour. Yeah, after that, on the 29th of May, I have started working for the 30th of May and 31st of May. I stopped with the code because I was waiting until the database has been populated with a 1 hour data. I needed to see how the code works because I have made the progress in the backend and I have created to read the code every hour from the API, and then I wanted to see how the change from on the midnight, from the 23 hour from current date to the 0, which is the midnight at the 00, how the code will react and how the data will be saved inside the database. Currently I have tested that and I have seen that inside the database, you can see that here it is for the symbols. I have added the hour, which is the hour, and I have a weekday, which day is currently. So when I read this data, I get what is the current day and what is the hour currently. So I'm saving the price change and also I'm saving the close price of each of these symbols. Currently I have selected only the EURUSD. This is the current progress, and this is what I will work in the next 2 weeks. I will try to make the changes here on this chart to have all the details available inside the database, and that means I would like to have here a possibility to change the time frame from 1 hour to the 4 hour to the daily to the weekly and to the monthly. This is something that the traders have said they would like to have based on the reports and also the comments I have read from the internet. Then I would like to see possibility to change this chart into bar chart, which I have already tell you that I would like to have, and that means I would like to use, just a minute, I will currencystrengthmeter.org. I would like to have this kind of a bar chart, which the traders really like, and I have seen lots of comments for this. It is a very good for them. It's very easy to understand, and for example, one kind of improvements they would like to have from the strongest currency going from the left to the right to have some kind of a dropping line. This is something they would like to have, and this is something I will try to make on this one, so the user can select to change the bar chart to the line chart here and add more of these details as I move forward. So I'll see what is possible and what's not, but I would like to make a minimal viable product to show this on the here on the currentlizer, so you can also see the progress to see is it okay, what kind of improvements do you would like to have. So I will put that everything here available for the users. What the user says they would like to have, I will try to build for them, because this is the tool that is meant for them. So this is all for this weekly report. It took a little bit a while to cover everything I want to say that is written here inside this one, where I record the progress. If you would like to watch what is done each day, you can check also Self-Taught Developer. It is right here at the bottom of the page, where I add more records almost every day. If not, then it is on the weekly basis, so you can check. You can also see currentlizer if you would like to read the database. This is currently on the daily basis, daily time frame. So each day you can see the data is being populated to see what is the currency strength currently active, what is the correlation between the euro and GBP, and below that you have a pip range chart. I think it is for the euro currently. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. If you have any idea for the improvements for the code or for the charts, feel free to leave a comment to help me to make this tool a little bit better than I was thinking to make. This is all for this one. Happy coding and see you next time.